Lads, lasses, people with glasses, and of course, all those in between. My name, in case you didn't already know, is Howlslash, and this one goes out to Ripper. Right, guys, so basically, Ripper from Team Nest, the same team that I play for in Scenario Paintball, recently bought a new paintball gun, and he's had a few problems with it. Basically, it is a WGP Oracle. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. It's a WGP Oracle with Eclipse E1 EBlade on, and the guy that sold him it sold him a dud. Sold it in perfect condition, and it's been a bag of shite when he's got it. The body looks nice, to an extent of what an older marker would do. Most of it looked sound, but when Ripper started taking it apart, for those that know much about autocockers, the front end had basically been filled with super glue. Luckily, none of it seems to have affected the Noid, the solenoid, but the rammer was completely seized up, the QEVs were knackered, and the LPR was screwed as well, filled up with super glue. Now, for those that like to work on paintball guns, I have heard of people using super glue before in place of Loctite. However, to just squirt super glue into a gun and leave it like that, that is sacrilege, especially an autococker. So basically, right, I'll just get the gun here. This is it. This is Ripper's WGP Oracle EBlade. Beautiful gun, granted, yeah. Everything seems to work now, seeing as he's replaced the LPR and the rammer. The Noid, like I said, seems to be in good condition. So like I said, he's asked us to have a look at it for him, and there was still on a few problems with it. And basically, Ripper, what your biggest problem was, it took me a little while to work it out as well, because I haven't worked on an EBlade for a long time. Need a new battery. that was one of the main reasons why it wasn't firing properly. So all I've done is I've replaced the battery. But I will be taking that out because I need to work on one of my own guns. But yeah. So all you need is make sure that whenever you're using this, check the battery before you actually go out to play, or before you start gassing up, and just make sure that it's working right. Because if the battery isn't right up, with this being a CR tripper, if the battery isn't up to a good quality, or good standard of or good power level, what'll happen is the CR won't respond fast enough for the hammer look to catch and that sort of stuff, and that was one of your main problems. Also, your vertical reg or inline reg, whatever you want to call it, fucking ass, that was cranked right in really high. And that was actually restricting airflow. So I've cranked that out a little bit, and that's helped out a little bit. Yeah, LPR, I've adjusted it to as best I can. However, the bell seals, I think it's the bell seals. I can't remember I think it's Evo RAM. Yeah, it is the Evo RAM. Evo LPR. I'm having a little bit of problem. I've never actually messed with one of these before, and I'm having a little bit of problems adjusting it. It seems to take very tiny increments, but I've getting that down to as best I can. Like I said to you, I sent you a text. What you want to do is, for your rammer, what I would suggest is turning your rammer out a couple of turns, because I'll try and get close at the camera here. You might be able to see there's a bit of a gap there between your back block and your main body. Now, what you want is you want that down to about a fingernail's width. It's a little bit wider than that at the minute, so I would suggest you can't adjust that with your cocking rod, because your cocking rod's fully adjusted, and it can't go any further into your your pump arm. It can't go any further into your back block because it's not it's not milled all the way through. Only way I suggest to adjust that is by turning your rammer out a couple of turns. That'll give you a little bit more room to play with when you're adjusting your back block and that sort of stuff. Your cocking rod it's fine. I would maybe get a couple of spare bumpers if you can, but other than that, that's pretty much good. Your chamber and all that sort of stuff, your D10, perfectly fine. That said, I think with the super glue stuff, it's mainly been stuck. It's mainly been the front block. Also, you mentioned that you had a leak down your barrel. When I gassed it up, I found that as well. All that meant was I had to remove the, I had to take the valve out, give it a bit of a clean down, sort it out and that sort of stuff, and that is fine now. What else? Oh yeah, hammer lug, yeah, your hammer and your hammer lug. I did have to adjust that a little bit, but I think that's mainly sorted out now. It's pretty stiff, so it shouldn't have any movement on it, any play out there. I mentioned putting a Delrin coated hammer into it, but I kind of find it. It's in me spares somewhere in one of my cupboards, and I kind of get to it. Other than that, I guess it's just a case of showing you that it is actually working now. So just turn it on there. That is on, and this is eyes on. So obviously, there's not going to be any gas going through it at the minute. It's just to show that the hammer lug is actually set up. So cock that back there, and release. Cock back, release. Cock back, release. Right. So now you mentioned earlier as well that you thought that there might have been a problem with the eyes, because it was firing with the eyes on. Now, what the old EBlades used to do is, they used to, when the eye was on, when there's nothing in the chamber, it will still cycle at around about 3 shots a second. I can't remember, somebody once did tell us the reason for this, but I can't remember why. But just think of it as a case of, if you don't notice your hotbar's empty, when all of a sudden your marker starts only firing 3 shots a second, you know it's time to top up again. Other than that, it's working eyes off, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cock it, gas it up. Right, the other thing, you do have a tiny little leak coming from the ASA. I tried putting my tank on, and what it is, it's your bottle O-ring. That's all it is. You need a new bottle O-ring on there. It's a bit chewed up, but unfortunately I haven't got any spares. So I'm just going to get me Ken Dodd Eclipse Fluffy. These fluffies are awesome. You know, it's squeegee at one end and swab at the other. These things, they're huge. I mean, it actually takes a bit of force to shove that down your barrel. So anyway, I'm just going to shove that down there. Don't even have to shove it all the way in. It quiets it right down. Right. Next thing is eyes off. Quieting it down a little bit more, and beautiful now. I can't. I'm actually looking forward to you know, seeing you put some paint through this, because it is really nice. Right, what I'm thinking is, I can't be sure, but it is, I believe it's set up to the factory fast setting, which is around about 12 BPS, you know, so it should be perfectly fine for any of the fields that we play on. And well, there you go. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you didn't know anything about autocockers, I hope you now know a little bit. If you can understand any of my ramblings. But that's about it. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.